In today's video, my friends, we're taking a look at the Panasonic JX850. Now this thing is packed full of features, but is it any good? Let's find out. Don't forget to hit the red button to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up and click the notification bell to get my next video first. So this is the JX50. If you're purchasing via my John Lewis link in the description, then you'll get the JX70, and that's exclusive to John Lewis. Now there are some confusions around this TV, but I'll come on to those a little bit later. What this TV does have though is a stand, which is probably the most complicated stand that I've put together recently, but it's also one of the nicest looking, so it's definitely worth spending time reading those instructions and putting the thing together. You literally then just drop the TV on top of the stand, like so. There are then just two further screws which you screw into the holes on the back, and again that's very simple to do. Now comes the most confusing part about this TV, and that is whether it has HDMI 2.1 or not. Now on the Panasonic website it says that it does have 2.1, but we do know that this is a 60Hz panel, so what would be the point of having HDMI 2.1 on a 60Hz panel? And if we head over to flatpanelshd.com, which is a really reliable source on panel technology, you can see that it's a VA panel, it's 50 to 60 Hz, it has 3 HDMI 2.0 ports, which obviously therefore doesn't support VRR, FreeSync or G-Sync. So it's really confusing, and I think it's not very good that manufacturers these days can't get their literature right, because it confuses the customer. Give us a thumbs up if you agree and think that it should be sorted. Anyway, what you do get when you've put this thing together and forgetting about the ports is a really good looking TV. I mentioned about that stand earlier. What do you guys think? I think it looks one of the best that I've seen. It really does look very, very good. Obviously this is the 40-inch version, so it's a lot smaller, but the stand is the same no matter what size that you get, and it does range from 40 inches right up through to 65 inches, and there's also a 58-inch version of this TV. Setting this TV up is a dream. It's very, very simple to do. Do it all on the remote control, and again just follow the on-screen instructions as you would do normally. I'm not going to bore you with all of that in this video. So I think we can all agree the design of the stand is first class. It looks absolutely brilliant. The rest of the TV, however, the chin at the bottom is slightly bigger than I would have expected, and so are the bezels around the side and the top. So not brilliant, but just about acceptable. Let me know what you think. Is this a little bit on the chinny side for you, or is it okay? Now in terms of design, you have got that front part which does restrict a soundbar going right in front of the TV, and it will cut off some of the screen, and it will position it on a slight angle because there is a slight slope to it. However, you can put something like the Sonos Beam here just in front of the stand, and as you can see it fits absolutely fine. The viewing angles on this TV are pretty good. It's only when you get to the real extremes that you'll notice the deterioration of the picture. Certainly you're going to see a degree of darkness the wider you go, but certainly sitting on a 30 to 50 degree angle away from the TV, then it's absolutely fine. I mentioned that this is a VA panel, and that means that you're getting a cleaner screen than what you might do on an ISF panel. Certainly that's my experience anyway, and it's only the extreme corners that you see some darkness, and even then it's only on particular colours that you'll notice it. Certainly on a white screen it's not too bad at all, and I think most people will be quite content. Now one thing I really like with this TV is the endless options for changing the picture image. It really is comprehensive. There's nothing that you cannot change. And to be honest with you, that's good, because I was really unimpressed with the quality of the picture from its out-of-the-box setting. Now I know most people will change the picture anyway, but nowadays with the different presets that are already installed, I find that most TVs you can chuck them into cinema mode or filmmaker mode or ISF bright mode if it's like an LG in a brighter room, and it will look fantastic. This TV, however, I really found that the picture was very, very watery, washed out, and almost too pale. The brightness was cranked right up to 100%, so was the contrast, and those things needed adjusting. But as you can see from the menu screen, it is very easy to do so, and you can do that to your heart's content. So my advice to anyone buying this TV is make those changes to the picture. Don't be put off by what it looks like when you first turn it on out of the box, because the chances are, if you're anything like me, you will be a little bit disappointed. And it didn't really matter what source we put into it, it was a little bit washed out and just looked very, very average. But after some changes, it did look really good. So I do have to say I was a little bit surprised because my previous experience with Panasonic TVs have been that they've been really good out of the box. But anyway, this does deliver a good picture in the end. And if you do want to go in and make changes, then you've got so many different options available to you. Absolutely everything that you need to go in and tweak is there. It doesn't matter what. I'm not going to bore you with every single menu option in this video. If you wanted me to go into more detail, then maybe leave a comment and let me know. But rest assured that any changes that you want to make, you'll certainly be able to do them on this TV. Reflection handling on this TV is pretty good. Obviously when there's a window directly in the line of sight, well then you will see it, but just with the normal light room you're not going to be getting any reflections obvious coming back on the screen. The Panasonic JX850 also did a great job with black levels. They're not the best as you wouldn't expect on an LED TV, but certainly they're not the worst, and maybe the new processor helps with that. It certainly helps with the general upscaling and delivers reasonably good blacks in a reasonably bright room. An area where I was a little bit disappointed is the sound of the TV. I never expect LED TVs to sound that good, but I'm just going to run you through a clip, and this is exactly what the TV sounds like. This TV does support Dolby Atmos, and so therefore the sensible thing would be to hook a soundbar or a 5.1 system up to your eARC, and therefore you'll get the benefit of some great sound. In terms of watching normal cable television, which has just been upscaled with the new HCX processor, well, I think it did a really good job. It was very pleasant. Once you have tweaked the settings right at the very start, I think that you're going to be very pleased with what it delivers. Certainly the colours felt natural and they didn't seem to be oversaturated at all. When we were watching live sporting events, you didn't get that issue where the green grass drags across the screen, which is sometimes very relevant on LED TVs. This handled motion very well also, and so therefore everything we sort of like put to the TV was reasonably well done, and so therefore no real concerns at all. So the majority of everything watching cable TV, 4K TV, upscaling from standard definition, all of those things are handled very well from the TV, and I think that the majority of you will be very happy with it. What about onto gaming? Well, again, gaming, we switched it into game mode. This is just the standard game mode. If you go for the HDMI 2.1 versions, which are the next model up, then you get advanced game mode, and that's where you're getting things like VRR, variable refresh rate, FreeSync and G-Sync. One thing that I had to do straight away, again, was change the settings because contrast was up at 100, brightness was up at 100, and so I needed to tweak those. The brightness level I just took down to slightly -2, -3, and I found that that for me was a lot more natural and gave me much more contrast. Other than that, again, it was washed out. Certainly in darker scenes like this in Outriders, it handled it okay. Not the best I've ever seen, certainly nowhere near as good as an OLED, but it did a reasonable job. You also get the new remote control with this TV, which is a little bit like a wand. It is very big, but it does have quick access to all of your favorite apps. So in my opinion, it's one of the better remote controls out there. Now, in terms of the software, you do get My Home Screen 6.0, which has got, again, very good access. It's a really nice, clean, simple operating system. I really like it. It's also got one of those nature type backgrounds, which I think is a little bit gimmicky, but if you want just that displayed with your date and time, then you can have that very simply. Now, if you're into your smart assistant, then you've got the option for both Google and Amazon, both of which are very easy to use and easy to set up, and you can just literally press a button and then talk to your TV. Okay, one thing that I really like about this TV is not only does it support Dolby Vision, but it does support every format of HDR. So you've got HDR10, HDR10 Adaptive, and HDR10+. Now, there's not many TVs out there with that type of support, so that again is a plus in the box for this TV. So guys, in summary, I think that once you get this TV set up, once you've tweaked those picture settings at the front, right at the very start of getting this TV, then you're going to be quite happy. I think it's a little bit annoying that it doesn't have the presets done as well as some other TVs, but once you do it, you only really need to do it once. I like the fact that you've got this in an option of a 40-inch TV as well, so it's not always about larger screen formats. You've got 40, 50, 58 and 65 inches, and so therefore you've really got lots of options available to you. If you do want 2.1 support, then you are going to have to spend more and go for the more expensive model, but but this is a pretty good TV as it sits. Let me know what your thoughts are, guys, in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching this video as always, and I look forward to seeing you on the next From All Things Tech.